Happy Monday. I don't know. I was really looking forward to spending this time with you because I don't know about you all. This has been a really tough day for me. And I know I've been having all these moments and I've been talking to people kind of like, hey, have you been feeling stressed with this election? Are you feeling anxious with this election? Does this election have you on edge? I've been asking all of these kinds of questions. And I know I've had my own kind of subconscious little something going on. But today I think I'm going to share what actually happened to me. So today was a big shift for me. It was probably the first time, given all this like election madness, that I've actually felt unsafe because, I've told you how I've pretty much have been staying in the house dealing with COVID, trying to be safe with COVID. But then also I work in a clinic. So I go to the clinic for work and then I come home. And in the clinic, I'm actually seeing patients from their homes. So I'm seeing them by telephone and by video. So they're not actually in there with me, but I do physically go to work. So I'm on the road probably a lot more than I would have been otherwise, a ton more than when the beginning of the pandemic when I was actually home. So what happened is that it was just nuts. But before I do that, let me go ahead and quickly tell you a handful of things. The first thing is welcome. I am just so happy to be here. I'm so happy to have you here. I realize we have all kinds of things scrolling across. So if you look down below, we have today's topic. Today's topic is 3 relaxation techniques to get you through this election. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm actually talking to myself because guess what? Today, I need all of the relaxation. I need it all. Me, relaxation, need me. I need it all. So we talked about what the topic is. First things first is, if you know anybody that needs this, please share. If you get really fancy, you can even start a watch party. All of the algorithms like that. The next thing is, if you know someone that needs it, you can also tag them. The third thing is, everyone's so busy these days. And the algorithm doesn't always give you everything when it happens. So if you see this later and you're watching it later and you're watching it on replay, no worries. Just put hashtag replay in the comments. Put your comments in. I would love to see them. So we're going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you here forever. So the topic today is 3 relaxation techniques to get through this election. One of the reasons we're talking about it is I put together this election sanity checklist, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, to help you just have some practical ways to deal with the stress of this election, because I realize that this just feels different. So have you been dealing with the fact that this just feels different? It's stressful, and that have you felt like it's even more stressful because you're also dealing with a pandemic? Have you felt like every time you hear about it, just kind of makes you get on edge and you just feel it in your skin and your bones? Do you find yourself up late or just kind of sitting there and not able to fully go to sleep and rest because you are so worried? Do you feel yourself anxious because you just don't know what's going to happen when this is over? And I know Dr. Kadisha's down in Texas and it got really extra special down there. So if that's been going on, this election sanity checklist may be for you. And what we're going to do tonight is these relaxation techniques. So I'm giving you a sneak peek into the checklist. They're on it, but they're not in as much detail. So I wanted to make sure I touched on some of the details so you would have it to go with the list. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. I'm going to let you know just on the front end where you can find said checklist. It's on scrolling below. But it literally is a checklist so that just like we had voting plans, you can have an election plan, election day, election night plan. So a plan of how to make yourself be in as zen as possible of a space, have any resources or things you need around you so that as you need to pick things out, if you start feeling anxious, you got it. And you have the things to start yourself out at a lower level. But I'm not going to tell you everything, but we're going to talk about a few. But one of the reasons I want to talk about this today, not only is because there's a checklist, is as I was saying, this has really been the first day that I have honestly felt unsafe. Now, all of you know, people drive really crazy in Atlanta. Atlanta drivers are never known for being the best drivers. I've been almost run off the road today. I left the house at 5:20. How are people driving crazy before 6 o'clock in the morning? And they were like people weaving in and out of traffic, driving 20, 30 miles over the speed limit, getting on the backs of cars, trying to almost, you feel like you're being intimidated by cars. I've never experienced anything like this in Atlanta, and it had me, I honestly was scared because people have been so aggressive on the road today. And every time I drove, because I think I told you to try to hold some of the stress and get my life together, I started working out with my trainer again. And one of the reasons I felt safe working out with him is when I work out with him, he has a very large gym that's his own, that is literally just the two of us. So we are more than socially distanced and there's no one else there. So I had incidents on my way to the gym, incidents from the gym to the clinic, and incidents from the clinic home. So I don't know about y'all. It scared the bejesus out of me. Like, I really am regretting that I'm not working from home, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't leave my house for another week. I just don't want to see all of this craziness. I don't want to be on the road with all of this. And I haven't even been in the spaces where there was the organized intimidation. But I want people to have some tools, because I even need these tools, especially today. I think I'm going to burn sage in my entire house, just to reset the energy, because I didn't even realize how on edge I was, because it just felt so unsafe. So let's go ahead and get to some of the topics of what we're even going to talk about. So one of the things I love, and you see it behind me, I have a candle. Yes. Now this one isn't of specific aromatherapy, but it is vanilla bourbon. I just like how it smells. But I have a diffuser. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I love it and it's great, and there are numerous ways to do it, and some ways actually make it so you don't have a fire hazard, is aromatherapy. It's amazing how much using oils and scents can really affect your mood. And in a point where there's a stress setup, is that aromatherapy is an easy, accessible way to turn down the volume on the stress. So there are numerous ways to use it. So one way is through candles. I have like a eucalyptus candle on the other side that you can't see because we're back in the kitchen. I was like, we need a kitchen day. But there are some scents that tend to be relaxing. Lavender is well known, chamomile. Sometimes people feel relaxed even with eucalyptus, even though sometimes it can be energizing. Spearmint. There are just a wide variety of scents that can relax you, and just using those to help or just make you feel better. And the other way is to use essential oils, and you can use essential oils in a diffuser. The great thing about a diffuser, like unlike a candle, I can walk away from a diffuser because I'm not worried about a diffuser setting my house on fire. And then you can mix the oils and kind of do whatever you want. So the good thing is you're not married to anything specific. Another scent I've rediscovered, which is really calming, is rose. The other thing you can do with essential oils is you can put them in the tub. One kind of cool thing is you can actually sprinkle some drops of lavender or eucalyptus in the shower, and it'll steam your shower. The other is you can actually put it on pulse points on your body. So aromatherapy for the win. But what if you're like, hey, sometimes it's about the scent, sometimes it's not about the scent. What else can I do? Well, the next thing is I have on there meditation. Now, granted, I realize we're going through a lot right now. This might not be the time where you feel like you can quiet your mind enough to meditate for 20, 30 minutes. Or especially when you're in the throes of election night, watching coverage or checking in with folks, that you may not have 20, 30 minutes. So what I actually recommend for this specific situation is 5 to 10-minute meditations, and just identify some so you have some on hand. As I said before, you all know I'm a Peloton girl. So the Peloton app has a lot of short meditations that are great. But you can also go to YouTube, Headspace, Calm, Shine, which is a great Black-owned meditation and mindfulness app. I think they also may have affirmations on there, but it's Shine. It's really nice. Is that pick something out. And one of the things I'm recommending is you start identifying things ahead of time so that when you need to take tools out of the toolbox, you're not having to invent the tools. You already have them already. So I'd say identify 3 to 5. Because the cool thing about 5-minute meditations, you can just stop and do a 5-minute meditation. It gets too much crazy. 5-minute meditation. Change your life. And those are kind of quiet meditations. Now, some people may want to do something that has more movement, like Qigong, or I don't think anybody's going to be doing Tai Chi in the middle of the election. But there may be a time where you almost need a meditative walk, where you just walk to clear your mind. And if there's no fireworks or people with guns outside your house, you can do that too. But it's just having these tools on hand to quiet your mind and turn down the emotional volume. The next one is breathing techniques. The great thing about breathing techniques is they're free. One to keep on hand is to breathe to begin with, because you may be on edge, you may be anxious, you may even get mad because some of the stuff folks are saying is crazy. I said crazy, yes I did. So sometimes it's not a matter of doing a full breathing technique, it's just a matter of actually taking a deep breath. And one way to know is you put your hand on your belly and you breathe towards your diaphragm. But to me, sometimes it's easier to do if you have your hand on your belly. It's like you just got something that tells you, did you make it there? The next is to do, as I've taught before, 4-4-8 breathing, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out over 8. It just slows things down, helps you focus. And by focusing on your breath, it helps kind of calm down, because then you're not as distracted. So a lot of the things that may have been just kind of running through your mind just slow down a little bit. The other is alternate nostril breathing, where you hold a nostril. Dr. Sam does the best demos of this. Like, I wish I should have had Dr. Sam, because she does it so cool. Because you hold your nostril, you breathe in for 4 on the open nostril, then you hold it for 4, and you breathe out for 4 in the nostril. Then you switch nostrils, but start holding your right nostril first. And that can be really powerful. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but I've actually tried it, and it actually can work. But it's just having a few things that you could pull in just to calm your body down. And part of it also is you're trying to send signals to your body that your body's going to be okay, even if something in it is sensing that it's dangerous. Now, there's something that's a bonus that I didn't put on there. The bonus is sometimes you have to turn stuff off. Turn-ish off. Sometimes you have to turn that TV off. You may have to turn your notifications off. It may feel overwhelmed. There's no rule that you have to watch this coverage all day and all night. Have a few things picked out that are funny or that you enjoy, or distractions, documentaries, comedies. Mandalorian just came out. Star Trek came out. Anything, if it's Tiny House, whatever. Have a couple of things that you've picked out that as an alternative, that if you don't want to necessarily just sit in quiet or listen to the radio, that you can, or an ebook or an audiobook, that you may be able to just turn on something else on the TV other than the election coverage. So again, thank you so much. I am your host, Dr. Erica, double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I'm on a mission to help women feel seen, valued, and whole on their own terms, but doesn't matter your gender. I'm just here to help you get through all of this craziness with your sanity intact through my books, little freebies, and my telepsychiatry practice. We're today talking about 3 relaxation techniques to get you through the election. They're techniques that are mentioned, but not in detail on the election sanity checklist. So I just want to give you some more information. We're going to do a quick review, quick recap, then I'm getting you out of here. Recap 1, aromatherapy. You can use essential oils on your person, diffuser, or candle. Number 2, meditation. Pick out a couple of 2 or 3 5 to 10 minute meditations that you can pull out if you just feel like you just start spinning, or it's just too much information, or you just even start feeling unsafe. The third is pull out some breathing techniques. The first one is just breathe. Sometimes you just need to breathe. Second is you can do 4-4-8 breathing. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out over 8. Give yourself grace if it doesn't come naturally. The other is alternate nostril breathing, where you hold a nostril, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. Hold the nostril, switch to the nostril, do the same thing. Start on the right. And the bonus was sometimes you just have to turn the TV off, turn the notifications off, and get off social media. Sometimes you just have to totally manually turn down the volume. So I just wanted to give you that so you have some tools, especially because I needed them too, because it's been a little bit of a stressful day. And I just wanted to remind you, and it should be going across the bottom, is I have a little freebie for you, the Election Sanity Checklist. It'll help you put together your election night and election day plan. So just like you had a voting plan, you can have a plan to help you get through the day and the evening. So it's a list of things that you can check off to make sure you have or have identified so that you can hold down the stress tomorrow. Just hold it down. So just go down. Let's go to drericachecklist.com, drericachecklist.com. That's what I have for you tonight. Thanks so much for coming. Next thing is just make sure you call at least one person and tell them that you love them. That's your usual prescription. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself some grace, and make sure you get some rest tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a long one. So, and remember, you get the checklist. It'll help you out. So thanks again for having me. Have a great night.